Have you ever noticed that there are some people that never bump into furniture or spill soup on their ties or use the wrong fork, or if you're standing near them on the street and the bus splashes you and not them, you wonder why. These people also are invariably dashing and good-looking and have nice, good tailors and know beautiful women. I find them very hard to like. If they're also rich and international film stars, it's even harder. My guest tonight is all of the above and perhaps more. I'd rather not think about it, but he is. And you may know him from his TV series The Saint, or maybe The Persuaders, or Maverick for a time, I believe. That's rather complicated. I must ask him about that. Anyway, you probably know him best as James Bond. Besides those, his recent films are The Wild Geese and Sherlock Holmes in New York, Shout at the Devil, That Lucky Touch, a lot of films. Now he has 3 new movies opening around the country, and one of them is For Your Eyes Only. That's the title. It's his 5th James Bond flick, and before I get too discouraged to talk to him or ragingly jealous, let us welcome, please, the debonair gentleman from across the sea, Roger Moore. Perhaps you'd like
What do you mean? I was only joking.
That was a very good idea.
It is nice to see you without your halo.
Thank you.
I always thought you had a terrific shampoo, and that's what that was about.
It is, actually.
Yeah.
Got rather heavy.
Are you glad that The Saint is no more?
Now that I'm working again, I am.
But there was a time
there was a nasty moment when it stopped.
Yeah.
And I got worried I may never work again.
You hear actors who've been in a series say, "I'll never be crazy enough to get trapped in another one." You are obviously crazy enough, or don't
Well, I
subscribe
like
to
them.
that.
I love work.
You do?
I've done...
But that's man-killing work. Up every morning at 6?
No, not really. A lot of people get up at 6 every morning and go home late at night. They don't get as well paid as I do. You know, it's a great compensation. I have no guilt complex
It's really
about
easier
it.
for them because they don't have those enormous tax problems and all of that.
It's true. If you look at it that way, it is easier.
What was the film? I missed it. What is the film in which you seduced Elizabeth Taylor?
That's embarrassing.
And did
that
the part call for it? I guess is what I really want.
Well, a number of things called for it. No, that was my first film. It was embarrassing. It was on last week here in England.
What is it? I don't know.
It was called The Last Time I Saw Paris. And that was the last time I saw Liz Taylor.
Did you learn anything from working with her?
Yes, it is nice to be a star.
Yeah. Now, I wondered about that because I have had actors, people giggle at that, but veteran actors have said with Miss Taylor they learned a great deal about screen acting from watching her work.
No, I don't think I was too much of a novice in the film industry in those days to learn anything. I learned a great deal from the next lady I worked with, which is Eleanor Parker, who was a marvelous actress and knew what picture making was about and would take me by the arm and guide me there and say, "This is your scene," which never occurred to me before that it was my scene, you know, and make sure that I was in the right place.
It's interesting. Dame Sybil Thorndike was here a few days ago, and she said she learned a great deal from Marilyn Monroe, appearing in a film with her.
I would love to have learned a great deal from Marilyn Monroe.
Well, you can't have everything.
Are the Bond movies as much fun to make as all the people who envy you making them think they are, or can even that be drudgery?
Well, I have fun when I'm working. I just love going to the studio or going on location and feeling wanted, you know, and getting paid on Fridays, and having my face painted and my hair combed and people giving me wardrobe to wear. I mean, it's all wonderful. Yeah, I know. Yes, they're fun to make. And they are, in a sense, hard work. Physically, they're hard. And also, if you're Bond, you're in every scene. And the schedule is usually about 6 months. And that means every day from the crack of dawn. And most of it's on location, so it's a 6-day week. So they're long hours.
And it takes you away from hearth and home, of course.
Yeah. Don't have too much to learn, of course, because Bond doesn't say that much.
Yeah.
My name is Bond. And then I also have a terrible memory. I can never remember what comes next. Do they have Brook Bond tea here?
No, I don't think it's known here. Brook Bond tea? Maybe imported.
Yes, the PG Tips Brook Bond is well known in England. And Guy Hamilton, who was directing one of the Bond films with me, got absolutely furious in the middle of the night shooting in Macau. And I was fed up with saying James Bond. I had to keep saying to this Chinese gentleman that my name is Bond, James Bond, trying not to sound like Sean Connery. And so I said, my name is Bond, Brook Bond. Cut. Say it right, Roger. All right, I'll say it right. Action. You know, my name is Bond, June Bond. Anyway, the Brook Bond thing, they have commercials in England made by chimpanzees from the London Zoo. I mean, not the producers or the directors, but the artists.
Oh, those appearing in them are the chimpanzees.
And they actually lifted that. They now have them voiced in the sort of chimpanzee. You know, my name is Bond, Brook Bond.
You must get paid for that then, as the author of that.
No, unfortunately I don't. I didn't register it with the Writers Guild.
Yeah. Was there any concern when you took over the part on the part of studios, or do they worry about this sort of thing at all, about the fact that the image of Sean Connery was so strong in everybody's mind as Bond? Was there any conscious effort given to either matching it in some ways, getting away from it in others, or did they just throw the dice and hope people would accept it?
Well, Guy Hamilton, as I mentioned before, he directed the first Bond I did, and we went to lunch and you know, discussing any reservations that I had or he might have. And he said, we will deliberately, you know, obviously you've got to say my name is, I said, because that's the thing that wakes me up at night. I keep hearing myself saying, my name is Bond, James Bond. And I mustn't do that, you know, because I can't do any more. That's the limit of my talent as a mimic. And so he said, we will avoid things like shaken, not stirred, anything that Sean did. And that's really the only thing that went into it. I was a little more gentle with ladies until the second one, when I was allowed to break an arm or two, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, Bond in the books is not that likable a character.
Slightly fascist.
Yeah, yeah. Which, according to my source that I can't remember, so was Ian Fleming. I think that was it, that they said that personally his political views, everything were really dreadful, hateful, mean-spirited.
Right-wing, you mean?
Well, no, I don't think of right-wing is synonymous.
Is there anybody else from the Bund here?
But that he was a bit of a fascist in his way. And,
slightly.
If I'm wrong, then I mean that.
But we don't make
Fleming,
films that way.
Fleming himself was a bit that way. But I must find my source. If anyone can help me on this, please.
During the break, Roger Moore was dabbed by the makeup lady for perspiration, and ladies in the audience moaned and went, what on earth is it? What is it that we don't have? We were all similarly dabbed and there was no moan.
Body odor.
It was the girls wanting the dab.
How do you explain that? Seriously, you must think about it. You can't just accept a thing like that without thinking about it.
Why not?
What have you got? I don't see anything.
Lifts, padding.
Lifts? Really, I've always thought you looked a lot like me, and I don't know what it is.
We are similar.
What are you going to do in your new series? Are you going to do anything saintly in this new series?
I hope not. No, we're trying to be different. You had Tony on last week, Tony Curtis, who's doing the show with me. And it's the story of an English lord, the adventures of an English lord and an American millionaire. Tony Curtis plays an English lord.
Obviously, yes. You're very calm and very cool, and you always are in performance.
Because I'm drunk most of the time.
Is that all it is?
It's a champagne glow, you know, successfully known to anybody with a nice bottle of Dom Perignon.
Well, I'm going to start then. You're supposed to be one of the wealthiest actors in the business. Did I detect a cringe when I mentioned that?
Well, it's all right.
I really said you're supposed to be.
It's all right. Tax inspectors don't watch this in America.
No, I
not
think
our tax inspectors.
I think not.
That's a terrible thing to say to anybody who's the wealthiest. I'm not.
Well, I didn't think you were. That's why I asked if I thought you were. I wouldn't embarrass you with it. I just said you're supposed to be one of the wealthiest.
You saw me ride in on my bicycle. If you had any class, you'd have sent a car.
But with a chauffeur on the handlebars? That's ridiculous. So it isn't grueling doing a television series, in spite of the fact that most people who do them...
No, because, you know, I find
to rest
working
up.
fun. I love being in a in a film studio. I love making pictures. I don't mind what I'm doing. I don't mind sweeping floors, anything. I just like to be there. I like the atmosphere. And I'm happy, you know.
Go
I'm happy
on.
amongst my friends.
Showbiz is in your blood?
Now it is, yes.
Yeah.
Didn't used to be.
I'd love to hear about mishaps in the making of movies, and there's one. I always find armor funny in any case, but wasn't there a time when you were? Was it that you went for a horse that was not there, or you had something to do with
I've been for a lot
armor?
of horses. Haven't been there.
Yeah.
But I was. Oh, that was when I played the lump of English roast beef with Lana Turner. I came off a horse. I was playing Henry II of France, and his mistress was Diane de Poitiers, but he was married to Catherine de Medici. We had a great deal in common, and he had all his armor with D&H entwined, and they made this wonderful golden armor for me at MGM, but it was all real. And the gloves were millions of pieces of metal, and I couldn't bend my fingers any more than that. And I lost the reins, and I was leading a charge out, and I was galloping away, and I had no reins. And I knew I was hung up, and I had and I also had metal things on my feet stuck in the stirrups. And I thought, I'm going to get hung up on the stirrups, I'm going to come off. So I got those out. I had metal here, so I couldn't grip with my knees at all. And the horse turned right, and I turned left, and I hit a set of concrete steps. It was very uncomfortable.
Concrete steps.
And they, I came to, they were cutting the armor off, and it was like being, Lana Turner said something absolutely awful about one part of me. She hoped that was all right. And then they carted me off in an ambulance to make sure it was.
Everything fine?
But I have 2 wives since.
Well, that I needn't have asked. Is that the closest you've come to severe injury? Because I always figured in the making of the Bond films, somebody's got to get hurt.
The nastiest one, we're talking. I thought this was what you're going on about bombs before. Was
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
In The Spy Who Loved Me, and Kurt Jurgens was the villain. He's sitting at one end of a long table, and it's the denouement scene, and I come in the other end. And underneath, you see this long tube underneath the table, and you see him put a gun, and he's going to send a rocket straight down the end of the table at the chair where I'm sitting. And, of course, I know it's coming. I'm James Bond. And so I'm about to throw myself out of the chair, and they blew the chair up before I got out of it. And I hit the deck, in flames. And I tried to carry on with the dialogue, now I'll get you. And then I couldn't see for smoke, you see, and it's me, I'm on fire. And I had 3 holes where you have 1.
You mean a true hot seat? More than
Very, very uncomfortable.
Wow.
I need 3 bathrooms.
Although I don't believe that, I do believe the incident. Can you sue for damage to your ass? Put it mildly.
Well, you can ask for damages.
In the court of assizes, I suppose. Well, that takes care of that segment.
Yeah, we really got to the bottom of it.
It's time we got off it, too.
But
Oh, Lord.
no, I had a
It
lousy
takes
one.
cheek to say that. Now, there was a time, I think, when Ian Fleming was just beginning to conceive the ideas for what turned out to be James Bond, and having a rough time finding out what to call the character. He had the conception, I'm told. I think this was in Evelyn Waugh's letters or something. Can you reveal to us where the name James Bond actually came from, and why it wasn't James Smith or James Jones or James Strong?
I think it came from the author of a book about West Indian birds.
I think that's right. The
Yeah.
complete ornithological something
Yeah.
or other.
Yeah, James Bond on birds.
Yeah.
And James Bond has been looking at birds ever since.
That's right, Bond and birds. You suppose he realized, Fleming, when he... Where did I get the idea that Fleming was such a terrible person?
I don't know.
I mean, I did, and I can't remember where, and it was somebody British who said, a dreadful man. I don't remember.
He lived in... I never met him, but I went to his house in Jamaica, which was called Golden Eye. And it's a very clinical-looking house, you know, sort of low white bungalow with outbuildings. And apparently Coward, who was a neighbor in Jamaica at the time, finally accepted an invitation to dinner and went down there and asked about how Fleming's lifestyle was. He referred to this clinical-looking house. He said that it was like something out of Schweitzer, out of the jungle. He said, it's very golden eye, ear, nose, and throat.
What did you mean by you're on guard at the beginning and end of your movies? That's a quote, I think, from a magazine interview I read.
Well, it's because the insurance problem is so enormous when you make a film.
Ah.
You know, making sure that the actor is going to live through the film, and particularly in Bond, because they're going to do everything to you. And I figure that when I start a Bond, in the first 2 weeks, they can quite easily kill me off. I mean, literally, and collect the insurance money, then go ahead and make another film with somebody else. But then once they've got so much footage in the can, they're stuck. They're lumbered with me, right? And they have to go on. But then when they get to the last 2 weeks of the films, I get very edgy and I'm very careful. I look over my shoulder because I then know that they've got enough film to shoot over somebody's shoulder for the last 2 weeks. And I could easily get shot or blown up.
Now,
Very dangerous.
you're not just kidding about this.
I always tell the truth.
No, I mean, it would make a good plot, but also, obviously, they are going to be a little less careful toward the end when they have enough.
Well, it's so funny. They say you can't do things. You mustn't go skiing. You mustn't do this. You mustn't ride horses because you can get. This is when you're not filming. When you're filming, I mean, everything goes on.
Yeah.
I follow another director I worked with, made 2 Bonds with, Louis Gilbert, who is as cowardly as I am. And I always say, where are you going to stand during this scene, Louis? And he says, I'm going to be over there. I said, well, I'm going to be behind you. He said, but you're in the shot. You've got to be there.
But there are actors who insist on doing their own stunts. I think Burt Reynolds always does, doesn't he?
Yeah. The only time I'm doubled is in love scenes.
Can't handle that.
Now I've got a jealous wife.
Do you?
No.
No. Oh, well, that's good. Was that the one where they had to tell you that your trousers were burning? And was that another incident where you and I think Barbara Bach, is that who went through a tunnel and you were going to go back for her and?
Oh no, that was I wouldn't have gone back with her. No.
As James Bond.
No. I knew Ringo Starr. I mean, I'm not going to fight him.
Right.
I mean, he's a drummer, isn't he?
Yes, he could get you.
No, that was with Brett Eklund.
Ah.
True Bert. We were shooting on a little island in the Gulf of Siam, in southern Thailand, and the island had to blow up. You know, and there were going to be 5 different explosions. We're shooting on this island, and they said you would come through that door. This is Scaramangus Cave, and I've set in the studio, which was a long way away. We had the big explosion, like atomic bombs going off, a little like Iraq, you know. And we had to come through the doorway, and they said, and I looked around, and there's things that they have outside houses that they're demolishing. You know, there's big tippers.
Oh.
And there are like 5 of these stacked up, one above the other, full of gelling light and petroleum jelly, and bits and pieces and sticks and dirt. And I said, what's that? And they said, well, that's the first explosion. I said, well, where am I when that goes off? And they said, well, hopefully you'll be through that door. And I said, you said first explosion, what's that mean? It was, well, there's another one when you get to Brit, and that will be there. And then you grab Britt and you run, and then we let off another one, and then you go around this big granite overhang, and you'll be all right. Then we're going to let off the big one. So I said, yeah, well, where's the camera? They said, and there out at sea is the boat going with the camera. And I am left on the island with Britt Ekland, and of course, the things went off. My hands got very sweaty because I'm nervous. And I grabbed her and I said, come. And I left her there. And I knew that the third had gone. And I said, come on! And then I said something that I can't repeat to her, which still didn't make her move. She doesn't recognize her name. So I went back and I grabbed her. I mean, heroism took over. I was me, not Bond. And when the flames licked around that wall, I put my arms around her like this, and all the hair singed all the way down. She was wearing a bikini. All went straight down the back.
Wow.
Lucky it was her back.
I'll say. What happened next?
Where's the music?
Someone is rude enough to have a radio in here. We have run out of time. I can't believe it. Roger, we're going to have to continue this adventure later on. We have no more time, so all I can say is thanks to Roger Moore and good night.
Good night.
Yeah.